Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joe, and this is the Next Level Thinking podcast. First and foremost, I want to say thank you all so much for taking the time out of your busy days to tune in. It's very much appreciated. And once again, this is the Next Level Thinking podcast, or journey as I like to call it. So let's go over a few things that we're going to talk about on our journey. First of all, we're going to talk about positivity and just how powerful positive thinking can actually be. Next, we'll cover leadership, which is a very important tool in influencing others and causing real change in the world. We're going to talk about parenthood. In my opinion, it is the most important thing a man or woman can do with their life. We're also going to discuss marriage. Sometimes it can be a little tricky to navigate, especially since my wife's going to be listening. Love you, honey. And specifically how to be the man or woman that your spouse needs you to be at all times. We're going to talk about life and how to lead a positive life. To cause real change in the world, whether it be at work or at home, it doesn't matter. Things can always be better. So finally, we're going to briefly touch at times on politics and sports. I am an avid follower of both. I am going to do everything I can to keep these topics very short and sweet due to the negative things surrounding both. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, who are you listening to? Who am I? What's my name? What's my story? My name is Joe, and I'm from the great state of Ohio. Go Buckeyes, Cavs, Browns, and Tribe. In this state, we don't claim no Cincinnati boys. I am a father to my amazing children, ages ranging from 4 to 10 years of age. I'm a husband to a beautiful, hardworking wife. I'm a brand new entrepreneur. I have been in leadership for about 11 years now by title, although at some point during this journey, you are going to hear exactly why title does not mean anything at all to me. Most importantly, I'm a student of life, and I never, ever stop learning and gaining knowledge from different sources, different articles, different books, different people, especially. So I'm also a man who has had the opportunity in life to learn many lessons, sometimes the hard way, and I've also had the opportunity to grow and get better from those mistakes. So finally, last but not least, I am first and foremost someone who wants to create positive change in people's lives. So what is the main goal of this channel? My focus is to help people, period. It's nothing complicated at all. I want to help you guys grow. I want to help you learn. I want to help you help yourself out of sticky situations and to help you see the bright side of those situations. I am not a psychologist, guys. I'm not a psychiatrist. Who I am is a man who has had many life experiences that I want to share with you. A man that's been on a journey that's led me into unique situations, both professionally and personally, and those are the lessons that I'm going to share with you, and hopefully we can learn from them together. So what can you expect from me? It's going to be a little different from most content you've ever heard, because I'm going to thrive when you thrive. I'm also going to fail when you guys fail. My successes solely depend on your successes, both professionally and personally. So there's going to be a segment in this journey called Stronger Together. I'm going to answer real emails from real people who need some sort of help, whether it be professional, personal, they need assistance, and maybe they don't have anybody to talk to. So I already have several in my inbox that I'm going to address first, but in my opinion, a busy man is a happy man, so please do not hesitate to drop some more in there. Once again, that's what I'm all about, creating positive change in people and really helping people navigate through tricky situations. So one thing that you'll never expect to hear from me is a lesson, a principle, or an action that I don't personally practice in my day-to-day life. I promise to you, I will never, ever tell you something that I know for a fact doesn't work or that I don't practice myself. So no matter how painful that may be at times, I will be honest with you, because without that, this channel has no meaning. Therefore, there's not going to be any fraudulent claims here, guys. So let's get started. We're going to roll right into it, and we're going to talk about depression first and foremost. So what is depression? So the official dictionary definition of depression is feelings of severe despondency and dejection. My definition of depression is a little bit different. So my definition of depression is allowing one's stress to overwhelm and outwork an individual to the point of mental, emotional, and oftentimes physical exhaustion. So what causes depression? Once again, I have no medical degree, so I'm going to focus solely on the circumstances in life that could cause depression. So according to Healthline.com, these are the main causes of depression. The first one is seasonal. So as daylight hours get shorter in the winter, many people develop feelings of lethargy, tiredness, and a loss of interest in everyday activities. This condition is called seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, oddly enough, SAD. Now it's known as a major depressive disorder with seasonal pattern. Your doctor may prescribe medication or a light box to help treat this condition. The condition also usually goes away once the days get longer. The second type of depression is called situational, and this is the most common, guys. So it's caused by trauma, a big change, or a struggle in life. And so losing a loved one, being fired, having financial troubles, or undergoing a serious change can have a big impact on people. So those are the two most common forms. The first one's very interesting. I've never heard of that one, but evidently it is the second most common cause of depression. So how do you deal with depression? And these are all my tips and tricks, guys. I have dealt with depression in my past, and this is essentially how I got over that. So surround yourself with positive support people. This is the most important factor in this. These can be friends, colleagues, or most importantly, family. Keep your family around. Keep them close. So for instance, my wife is my biggest fan. She supported me through both good and bad extremes. She's the mother of my children, and she's always been there for me. So we've had our disagreements, but at the end of the day, I always have her support. I also have amazing people around me that I may not see on a regular day-to-day basis, but I do talk to them a great deal, either through text, Facebook, etc. So the first one, his name is Byron, and he's actually a former boss and colleague of mine that I met a few years ago. Byron and I got off on the wrong foot, and I did not like Byron very much at first because I thought he was a little too blunt and a little too, we'll say, direct, to keep it clean here. But Byron and I have actually Byron and I's relationship has blossomed into a beautiful friendship. I actually just got off the phone with him. He told me an amazing story about what he's doing in his life to make positive change in others, and how hard he's working to support his family. So big props to Byron. Another one is named Devin. Now Devin's a little different. I met Devin through, he applied for a job at a previous employer that I had. And when I looked at the guy's resume, I never thought in a million years I was going to hire him. So we were a little desperate. I called him and I said, stop in today for an interview, so on and so forth. So he walked in, he was dressed super professional, and we sat down, and the interview probably lasted an hour, and a half hour of that was solely just talking about life experiences, different stuff that we had in common. Needless to say, I ended up hiring Devin, and he became one of the best guys I've ever had work for me. So that's impressive. He had no experience in that field whatsoever. But the main point here is, guys, these two are always there to listen to me, and in return, I'm always there to listen to them as well. So once again, that's the most important part, is to have a gigantic, all-in support system around you, and that's really going to help you deal with your depression. So next, always start and end the day with positive thoughts. One of the major things that I do every single morning, no matter what's going on, is I listen to positive content. So it could be TED Talks, and then I'll move on with some music that makes me just feel good, and I'll put a song on repeat for an hour or so, just whatever I'm in the mood for. This morning's choice was Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. Then at the end of the night, I always watch a motivational TED Talks again, or a podcast until I start falling asleep. And that always ensures that I'm filling my mind with positivity at the very beginning and end of every day. Those are the times of the day, guys, when your mind is actually working the most. Throughout the day, you can feel a little bit like you're on autopilot. So in the morning, your thoughts are racing, and at night, if you've ever had trouble falling asleep, that's why. It's because your mind is working overtime. So lastly, which is also very important, keep a list of goals, both long and short term. So you need to be able to track these on a daily basis. So for instance, in 1 year's time, I want to have at least 20 employees and have helped positively change at least one person's life per day. So between now and this time next year, 365 people's lives I want to touch and I want to help improve. So this kind of leads me into my next little section here called Stronger Together. This, to me personally, is the most important part of this journey, guys. Truly helping one person at a time. As I said, that is my goal. So between now and this time next year, 365 people I want to do this with. As I said before, guys, it's a real email and it's a real person reaching out for real guidance and real support. I received this anonymous email at 12:57 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd. So here's what it says. Joe, I am secretly struggling with depression. Not sure exactly how to handle it. I've been to the doctor and he put me on medicine, but it just makes me feel cloudy and in a haze all the time. Almost like I'm living in a dream. I sort of feel like a zombie. Not sure what to do or how to handle it. Feels like no one is there for me. I have no support system. Please, can you help me? Well, to be honest with you, anonymous person, I absolutely can help you with that. This is actually something that I experienced in my younger days. So, without question, they were the toughest periods of my life. Sometimes you can be in a room literally full of people and feel so alone that you think I may as well go home and be alone. But honestly, guys, that's the worst thing you can do in the world. I was also put on an antidepressant, and I felt the exact same way. Everything in life became super dull, boring, almost lifeless. It definitely evened me out, but not in a positive way at all that I was expecting. So I wasn't me anymore. And there's nothing more terrifying in life, not even like a depressive state, than knowing that you're just not you anymore and you really don't know who you are. The things in life that brought you joy, they don't help. The people that made you laugh, they're just not funny anymore. The TV shows and music that you listen to, they're really not entertaining at the end of the day. So, anonymous emailer, here is my advice to you. I will never, ever, 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 and I can't emphasize that enough, ever, instruct someone to ignore a doctor's orders. Once again, I personally have no medical degree. I have no experience with medication outside of the ones that I have taken myself. That being said, you know your body and your mind better than anyone else could possibly know it. So if your medication isn't helping you and it may be making your condition worse, you need to schedule an appointment with your physician. You need to let them know what's going on as soon as humanly possible. Please do not wait. Your depression may be getting worse. The second thing I would say is you need to find the root of your depressive state. Is it work-related? Does it involve your spouse or significant other? Does it involve a family member or a friend? That's always the first step to self-healing. So get to the root of the issue, then you can truly begin to heal. So next, some best practices, some things that you can do every single day in order to kind of get yourself back on the right track and get you feeling like yourself again. So every morning when you wake up, make a list of all the things in your life that you're grateful for. It can be work-related, it can be about a specific person, material thing. Typically, I would say avoid material things because they can be lost, broken, stolen, etc. But it seems to me like you're looking for anything at all to hold on to and be grateful for. So next, on your lunch break, or if you don't work in the middle of the day, when you have some downtime, I want you to take at least 5 minutes to just unplug from literally everything. Turn off your phone, your tablet, music in your car. Completely unplug. Just think about your impact on the world for 5 minutes. What is your purpose? If you don't know what that is, it's totally okay. It took me like 30 years to really discover what my purpose was and what I wanted to do. But I want you to just think about what's important to you. Every single day in the middle of the day, focus on how to act on that thought. If you're passionate about helping kids, volunteer at a school once a week. If you're passionate about the homeless epidemic, volunteer at a soup kitchen. Read a few pages in a book or an article on that subject. Anything to get closer to your goals. So anything that keeps you working towards your goal of achieving your purpose in life. That's what I recommend. So here's a few more. Reach out to one person a day and just thank them for their influence on your life. It can be an old friend, classmate, whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyone who you shared an experience with that altered your life for the positive. This is super important. It gives you a great sense of self-worth. Because the text, the call, whatever way that you choose to contact this person will mean the world to that other person, I promise you. Not only will it help you, it may help that other person. You never know what someone's going through, and your email is proof of that. So lastly, at the end of every single night, I want you to write down one thing that you did in that specific day to make a difference other than the things that I've listed here. Now, this is important. This keeps your mind working on positive things throughout the day because you're going to actively search out ways to improve your mindset as the day goes on. So, and it ends your day on a positive note. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. Think of it as a book, right? So there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, all of which are just as important as the other parts. So, anonymous emailer, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to write that email. I appreciate the opportunity to spread some love and some knowledge and to someone in need. I really, truly hope this helps. Please keep in mind that I'm more than receptive to a follow-up email with your success story or potentially for more guidance if these things didn't work for you. Please just remember someone is always there to listen, to guide, to help. Just remember you are not alone. We are truly stronger together. Thank you once again for your email and your participation in this journey. So the next segment is called Leadership Lessons. This is going to be general leadership tips for those in leadership, have an interest in leadership, or would like to get into leadership in the near or distant future. Today's topic that I'm going to talk about is transparency. So what is transparency? My idea of transparency is always making sure that your people know exactly where they stand with you, good or bad, at all times. Some best practices for this: make sure that if they did a fantastic job, that you reward them accordingly. Sometimes a simple pat on the back goes a long way, and if they could have done a better job, make sure that they understand that as well. But keep this positive. I'm not an advocate for beatdown sessions, quote unquote, because all they do is take away a person's will to do better. I suggest creating something like an observation form or something along those lines so you can break it down on paper for someone. Label the not so good part as area of opportunity. This lets them know that this is an opportunity to improve yourself and take yourself to the next level, as opposed to I'm just going to nitpick you. Honesty is everything. So if someone's job is in jeopardy, they need to know this, period. This subject has been debated with me numerous times by numerous people, but it's something that I'm never ever going to waver on, ever. It's about empathy, so put yourself in their shoes and picture your job being in jeopardy and no one tells you. Maybe it's a mistake that you're making unknowingly because you haven't been trained properly or shown the right way to do things. Maybe there's something going on outside of work that's affecting your psyche. You just really don't know. So take a half hour out of every week, guys, just to check in with your people. If nothing else, just to reassure them that you care about their success, both inside and outside of work. That's important because you care about them as people, not just when they're making you money. And if you don't care about them inside and outside of work, leadership may not be for you. It's honestly not me talking down to anyone, but it is the truth. See, transparency. Some people I've met really weren't cut out for the leadership positions that they were in, but wanted the extra money. Absolutely nothing wrong with wanting more money, but it can't come at the expense of your growth or the people around you. If you want more money, please find a different way of getting it. Maybe get a secondary job or a different job altogether. But if you're in a position you're not cut out for, it's not only hurting others, but definitely it's hurting you. Please don't stunt your growth and move on and find something new. Next up, we have a very short segment called Giving Gratitude. So every single show, I'm going to take a second to thank someone out of my personal or professional life, specifically for the guidance and support that they've shown me in one way or another, and how I'm going to repay them for their dedication to me or potentially pay it forward to someone else. So what better place to start than the place I spend the most of my time? At home. It's my office, my fortress of solitude, where I sleep, where I relax, where I work, where I grow. So I'm going to start out with my biggest fan in the world, like I told you earlier. I'm going to start out with my beautiful wife, Mary. I wrote this morning. It's called, very simply, A Letter to My Beautiful Wife. Sweetheart, I know you're listening. And I just want to say that there are no amount of words that I can come up with that would express my gratitude for everything that you do and for allowing me the pleasure of being your partner in life. I've watched you grow into the most patient, understanding woman that I could have ever asked for, and I'm forever in your debt. Sometimes during the day, I just sit and think about everything that we've been through together and everything we've learned together, most importantly. You are truly my best friend in this world. Thank you for working so hard on yourself and on our marriage day in and day out. I can honestly say I've never been happier a single day in my life than I am right now at this moment. I love you, and I can say that with all certainty and honesty that I will love you at least a little bit more every day for the rest of my life. You're an amazing mother, partner, and friend, and I promise to never stop working to improve myself and our marriage. Thank you. So once again, guys, that was a letter to my wife. And that was also once again, very short segment called Giving Gratitude. And once again, I wanted to start out with one of the most important people in my life, if not the most important person in my life. So I'm going to end every single podcast with a daily challenge, guys. The challenge is going to be personal or professional in nature, sometimes both. It's something that I want to challenge all of you to do on that specific day or week, depending on how many podcasts I get uploaded. So today it's going to be, like I said, a mixture of both. It's going to be a personal and professional challenge. I want you to reach out to one single person that you don't talk to on a normal basis who has influenced your life in a positive way. So it can be anyone, a former boss, coworker, classmate, relative, or even a friend that you haven't seen in a long time. Anyone that's helped you become the person that you are today. I want you to be super specific in this action. Name the exact thing that you're thanking them for and how you're going to pay it forward. Once again, you never know what someone else is going through. Please make this a priority and accept this challenge. So once again, guys, I'm never going to ask you to do anything that I don't do personally myself. So this morning at 6:45 a.m., I completed this challenge myself. And the response that I got was incredible. This person thanked me numerous times, even invited me to their son's birthday party. Now keep in mind, this is somebody that I haven't talked to in a very, very long time. I haven't even met their son. So the birthday party is this weekend, and I'm going to do everything I possibly can to be there. I'm not going to give out this person's name because I didn't ask their permission to use their name, but it is someone that I used to see pretty much every single day. At one point, we even lived together. We did everything together. Unfortunately, we lost touch over the years as they started their family, I started mine. All excuses aside, I will be forever in debt to this individual person. They were there for me during my adolescent years, and even when I was battling my first bouts with depression. We'll always be family, whether we see each other on a daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly occasion. Sometimes people need to be reminded just how important their part in your life really was. So please take some time today to let them know that you're thinking about them and you appreciate them. It can make a world of difference to someone having a less than perfect day. So you can also find a picture of the challenge on Facebook or Instagram, just in case you want to share the challenge with others that you're close with and spread some love. Our Instagram is at next_level_development. Facebook page is at Next Level Development 2015. It's all one word. Or you can just type in, quote, Next Level Development in the search bar on Facebook. So to give a very brief wrap up here, guys, of everything that we talked about. We talked about depression today and different ways to cope and internally treat it. We talked about the importance of giving back and finding your purpose in life. We talked about how important transparency is in leadership. We also talked about how important it is just to thank people every once in a while. Please don't forget that daily challenge. Thank one person that you don't see on a consistent basis for the impact they had on your life. A quick outro here, guys. I want to sincerely once again thank you all for taking the time out of your busy days to listen. I hope you found some real, true value in this episode. Please feel free to give it a like and share it on Facebook and leave some feedback on the YouTube channel if you want. If you want to participate in the Stronger Together segment, the email address is N as in Nancy, LD as in dog, questions @mail.com. And the password is YouTube 2017. No spaces, no caps, anything like that. So that's the email address that you guys can log into to actually send me an email. My email address that I'm going to be receiving these on is jfranknlt@gmail.com. Please send me your questions, comments, concerns, or once again, if you want to participate in the Stronger Together segment. So I'd love to hear your stories. Thank you all very much once again for listening. I'm going to chat with you all very soon. Please remember, if you want to get to the next level, you have to think at the next level. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great rest of the day.